Alright, so this is the Hunger Games by me and my friends. It's going to be quite entertaining. And comment below whose team you're on. Alright, so District 1 we've got Acider, Riptide 28. District 2 we've got Crocky and Dizzy Hazard. District 3 we've got Incinerated Fire and Bean. 4 we've got Mate and Francis. 5 we've got Rahan and Jonah. 6 we've got King Maz and Vanj. 7 we've got Rayan and Jet. District 8 we've got Akil and Lily. District 9 we've got Benoit and Zahib. 10 we've got D-Rags and Eddie. 11 we've got Lyle and Oliver. And 12 we've got Evil Chewbacca and Spike. Alright, as the tributes stand on the podiums, the horn sounds. Lyle runs away from the cornucopia. Dizzy Hazard runs away from the cornucopia. Incinerated Fire runs into the cornucopia and hides. Rayan breaks D-Rags' nose for a basket of bread. Riptide 28 finds a bag full of explosives. Zahib scares Crocky away from the cornucopia. Spike runs away from the cornucopia. Oliver runs away from the cornucopia. Benoit runs away from the cornucopia. Jonah runs away from the cornucopia. Bean snatches a pair of scythes. Rahan runs away from the cornucopia. Francis runs away from the cornucopia. Mate runs away from the cornucopia. Jet runs away from the cornucopia. King Maz runs away from the cornucopia. Lily scares Eddie away from the cornucopia. Acider scares Akil away from the cornucopia. Vanch grabs a shield leaning on the cornucopia. Evil Chewbacca stays at the cornucopia for resources. Alright, Hunger Games. Day 1. Incinerated Fire strangles Lily after engaging in a fistfight. Eddie discovers a river. Mate receives medical supplies from an unknown sponsor. Riptide 28 and Akil split up to search for resources. Zahib and Benoit work together for the day. Jet sees smoke rising in the distance but decides not to investigate. Acider makes a slingshot. Vanch is pricked by thorns while picking berries. Jonah discovers a river. Rahan bashes Dizzy Hazard's head in with a mace. Rayan thinks about home. King Maz receives medical supplies from an unknown sponsor. Lyle tends to Evil Chewbacca's wounds. Crocky receives a hatchet from an unknown sponsor. Spike collects fruit from a tree. Bean sprains his ankle while running away from D-Rags. Francis makes a wooden spear, and Oliver picks flowers. Alright. First fallen tributes, Lily from District 8 and Dizzy Hazard from District 2. Alright. Hunger Games, Night 1. D-Rags is awoken by nightmares. Spike convinces Lyle to snuggle with him. Benoit and Incinerated Fire tell stories about themselves to each other. Crocky goes to sleep. Mate convinces Bean to snuggle with him. Evil Chewbacca tends to his wounds. Eddie's trap kills Zahib. Rayan tries to treat his infection. Oliver is unable to convince Akil not to kill him. Francis tends to King Maz's wounds. Vanch receives medical supplies from an unknown sponsor. Riptide 28 and Acider hold hands. Rahan attempts to start a fire but is unsuccessful. Jet climbs a tree to rest, and Jonah tries to sing himself to sleep. Alright, Hunger Games Day 2. Rahan poisons Benoit's drink but mistakes it for his own and dies. Incinerated Fire tries to sleep through the entire day. Jet attacks Lyle but he manages to escape. Francis kills Riptide 28 as he tries to run. Mate tries to spear fish with a trident. D-Rags receives an explosive from an unknown sponsor. Jonah thinks about home. Evil Chewbacca practices his archery. Eddie poisons Bean's drink. He drinks it and dies. Crocky questions his sanity. Rayan, Vanch and Spike track down and kill Acider. And King Maz strangles Akil with a rope. Alright, fallen tributes. 7 cannon shots can be heard in the distance. Zahib District 9, Oliver District 11, Rahan District 5, Riptide District 1, Bean District 3, Acider District 1, Akil District 8. Alright, Hunger Games. Night 2. Lyle and Jet huddle for warmth. D-Rag stays awake all night. Ryan attempts to climb a tree but falls on Vanch, killing them both. Incinerated Fire, Crocky and Jonah sleep in shifts. Eddie lets Francis into his shelter. Mate defeats Benoit in a fight but spares his life. King Maz questions his sanity. Spike sees a fire but stays hidden. Evil Chewbacca passes out from exhaustion. Benoit, Eddie and Francis track down and kill Mate. Lyle and Evil Chewbacca hunt for other tributes. Incinerated Fire injures himself. King Maz tries to spear fish with a trident. Spike runs away from Crocky. Jonah practices his archery and Jet makes a slingshot. Spike is unable to convince Jonah not to kill him. Evil Chewbacca forces King Maz to kill D-Rags or Benoit. He decides to kill D-Rags. Lyle lets Eddie into his shelter. Francis is unable to start a fire and sleep without warmth. Crocky shoots an arrow into Incinerated Fire's head, and Jet goes to sleep. The cornucopia is replenished with food, supplies, weapons, and memories from all the tributes' families. Jonah shoots an arrow at Benoit, but it misses and kills Crocky instead. King Maz kills Lyle for his supplies. Jet sobs while gripping a photo of his friends and family. Eddie decides not to go to the feast. Francis decides not to go to the feast. And Evil Chewbacca decides not to go to the feast. Okay, day 4. Jonah defeats Benoit in a fight but spares his life. Jet picks flowers. King Maz receives a hatchet from unknown sponsor. Francis collects fruit from a tree, and Evil Chewbacca scares Eddie off. Five cannon shots can be heard in the distance. Spike, District 12, D-Rags, District 10, Incinerated Fire, District 3, Crocky, District 2, and Lyle, District 11. Jet passes out from exhaustion. Fallen tributes, one cannon shot can be heard in the distance, and Francis from District 4. Alright, Hunger Games, Day 5. Jet makes a wooden spear. Eddie hunts for other tributes. Benoit injures himself. Jonah picks flowers, and King Maz steals from Evil Chewbacca while he isn't looking. At night 5, Evil Chewbacca begs for Eddie to kill him. He refuses, keeping Evil Chewbacca alive. Jonah lets Benoit into his shelter, and King Maz is awoken by nightmares and Jet starts a fire. Alright, day 6. Evil Chewbacca fishes. Benoit accidentally steps on a landmine. Jonah begs for Jet to kill him. He refuses, keeping Jonah alive. King Maz practices his archery, and Eddie dies trying to escape the arena. Right, Fallen Tribute 6. Two cannon shots can be heard in the distance. Benoit and Eddie. Night 6. Evil Chewbacca and Jonah talk about the tributes still alive. Jet accidentally detonates a landmine while trying to arm it, and King Maz stays away all night. Day 7. Evil Chewbacca questions his sanity. King Maz bleeds out due to untreated injuries, and Jonah accidentally steps on a landmine. Right, here are the fallen tributes on day 7. Jet, King Maz, and Jonah. And finally, the winner was Evil Chewbacca from District 12. And then here's like the places, so you can see what place you got.